early one today, unexpected. But this will be the third in a row, 3 days in a row. So that'll be like a unit of instruction for what's going on in these lives of ours. In the first one, we covered how my mother's house was representative of my sister's trauma, that childhood trauma that gets embedded into the energy body, and then that is what colors your perception. You're projecting it out there. You're finding stuff on the set that is symbolic of that emotional trauma that is wanting to work itself out. That's why my sister was so interested in narcissistic tendencies in all those videos, but without realizing that she was interested in herself. She's doing that, projecting out there that I was doing this to her, and there's something out there on the set that is responsible for the way you're feeling, that energy. So I've been back here, the original place, with my girlfriend, Robin, another Robin. My stepfather's Robin Freeman, and this is Robin. And this place here, this house, is representative of her childhood trauma. And hers, from what I can deduce, is that her mother wasn't listening to her, wasn't paying attention to her when she was young. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but energetically, everything is a 10 as a child that feels that. So last night, you're not listening to me, you're not listening to me. But that's from her mother, that she had to repress that. And her mother wasn't. Her mother was into alcohol, and that's the way she felt. I went through that. My mother was into her life, and I felt abandoned. But that is the key healing that you have to do to make peace with that. I made peace with my mother, and I put myself in her shoes, and I realized that we're the same life, that I would have done the exact same thing that she'd been doing at that point in her life. And I made peace with it. So I'm not blaming anybody out there for my problem. But here I am. I want my sister and my girlfriend to do that healing, because they're a part of me in the super consciousness. So I'm dealing with that. Like, maybe I need the samadhi. Like, once you want something to happen on that light set and it doesn't happen, then now you're suffering. That's what I'm going through. And at that super conscious level, we're all the same consciousness. They're playing a role. So in the superorganism, maybe they're my thing for the higher level to go find my real soul calling. So, my sister has her trauma, and then out on the set, she really hates Robin. She hates her. And her way she goes about her life is that she wants to try to control my social life, and so like, I don't know how many. I moved back here 4 years ago, and I moved out of here. I've lost count how many times. I think 6 to 8 times. And but from watching those narcissistic videos, I know how it works. One, the narcissists always want their source back, so they act up, but then they are nice. So that's what I've been doing. It's called a narcissistic ping pong ball. I come back here, one acts up, and I go move into my mom's and tell my sister all about it, what the narcissist is doing. They're like, oh. And but after a while, the roles switch, and then my sister will start acting up. Get out of my house! You're out of here! Oh, and they start saying the right things and acting nice because they want their source back. I know that. I've been through this pattern that many times now. This last time I moved out, I was like, no, I'm not moving all my stuff again. I'm the only one that's actually doing anything, moving for them. Get out of my house. So I just took a backpack of my stuff because I knew the cycle. And here this morning, now I'm, so I've been here a week, and like the key, remember we talked about the key, how symbolic of getting in there to that trauma. That's what they're really afraid of. And it's symbolic on the set. I'm the trigger because I'm the one that's coming in there. Better here, or better here, right? Because I want that healing in them as part of that superorganism. And so I was like, well, I'll just go in through the side door, and I cleaned it all up yesterday. It's nice, and but that was the symbol. Like, I don't have the key, you know. And so yeah, now here I am, locked out here. You know, my car keys are in there. So, uh, like 6 weeks ago, my sister was dangling her carrots. She was always wanting to control my social life using my mother's money, to be honest. And she was like, well, they were moving to Springfield, and there's the house, and oh, I might have a role with that house, you know. But then I saw her wheels start spinning, and she was associating the proximity because it's in the same neighborhood, and she was like, "Oh nope," because she was getting triggered by me seeing Robin again, and I just saw her going, "Oh no, no," and she actually said, "I'm not going through that again. I'm not living through that again." Right? I mean, could it be any more projection? Living vicariously through something out there on the set? My social decisions, she's taking them personally, and that's her life. It's triggering all her stuff. So I just been playing this game where, you know, back and forth, they get trigger, explain everything, the tools, the techniques, but yeah, it's just not. They're not interested in that. And they're not giving. You got to give yourself permission to be happy. You're the only one that can do that. And but you got to love yourself. And to love yourself, you have to make peace with your issues. Right? If there's someone out there doing something to you, that's it. That's what you're seeing. That's what the super consciousness is arranging on the set, and then you're responding to it. So we've been responding to it as children and manifesting that it's out there separate from you. But no, that's what you're seeing out there. Is your emotional body. That's what's coloring the ice, right? That's melting. It's projecting the shell. And you know, so I'm doing all these things, but it's symbolic of getting in there and stirring up that in the house, that repressed trauma. That's what I represent symbolically to them. And the truth of it. So yeah, we'll keep moving around. Better here, better here. So who knows? But maybe as part of me, my super personality, they roll their planet for me. Would be, yeah, maybe I do need to move on, and that's ultimately what they want. So that's where I'm at. So cleaning these windows is like, you know, that's symbolic of, yeah, these things are going to be revealed in these times. You know, those days of pretending and making excuses for your bad behavior out there, that's kind of, I think that those days are up. So that's why I had Facebook Live. This is the therapy outlet for me. So I have a tribe, you know, to share this with. It's pretty, you know, off the hook. I mentioned the book, The Drama of the Gifted Child, explains how that gets recycled in the families, because as a child that forgets that in the ego mind, but emotionally that's what it carries with it throughout its life. And we like 3 years book to her in the car. I didn't quite get all the way through it because she just didn't want to hear it or get it, but you know, better hear, better hear. I'm like, this is what happened. This is what you're actually responding to. It's like, I am listening to you. You're not listening to me. See, it's that emotional thing, because this is emotional, symbolic world. You know, it's not, nothing really makes sense out here. You know, here busting, making this place nice, and you know, even like symbolic, the landlord at this place is completely absentee, an absentee landlord. He's a really immature way that he goes about his life, and symbolic. Yeah, there's no landlord home. You know, she was like, oh, she want to move to Florida. I said, well, I'll just take over here, but that's not what it's about. No, because this is symbolic of her trauma. This house. me being in it and having a key to it. That's what she's being triggered by, once again. So, I don't know, Sean Wren, if you're out there, I saw it on one the other day, but, I was like, I kind of just need a pretend place to live, symbolically, so that they're not triggered. 'Cause her and I would get along, but like kind of like dating. But if I'm here in her house, well, then she gets agitated. But if we just see each other on good behavior, good terms, this stuff doesn't come up. But I've been here long enough, and I'm getting into the nooks and crannies, getting into those corners. Now that's triggering that emotion, and she knows subconsciously that that's what it's really all about. So, so full circle, once again. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go back over to my mom's house. Maybe tell Molly, oh look, this is what narcissist is doing. And you should be interested in it for a minute, and until they get triggered again. Just a ping pong ball. Like, where do I live? We know we live in our bodies. That's your only place you really live. That's your private property. But the symbols on the set, houses, are representative of the emotional wounds for these two. So yeah, I'm out of answers at this point, other than maybe take my own advice and just detach from trying to have an investment in the outcome of the light show. I should probably know by now. It's happened enough times that that's all this is going to reveal. That they don't want to go down there and deal with that their trauma. They don't want to be happy. Those are the only people I want to interact with. That's like the screening process for me. Would you're not doing that, projecting that you have all these problems out there and that there are people out there doing anything to you. There's nobody doing anything to anyone. You're the only one doing that. It's your emotional world, and if you're putting it out there, that's projecting. That's the narcissistic projection. So you're throwing your emotional issues out on the set. And if you had to repress that as a child, you're going to try to recreate that scenario on the set. Right? That's what I was doing with my girlfriends for the first 20 years. I wanted them to feel the way I felt when I was 5 years old, and my mother wasn't paying attention to me. But I corrected that. It's school. We're in a school, incubation chamber here to learn that. And I'm going to tell the ones around me that, wow, that's actually possible. You can actually do that. Tune into that higher self, Hoffman technique, and go make peace with the original source where that was recycled in your family, and heal it. Or observe what's going to happen. Just recreate the same scenario. It doesn't change. You don't correct it out there. There's no one out there who's going to do anything for you. It's reminding you of it. You're getting triggered by it. Right? You got to do that inner work. And then I'm not projecting out there that, even with this, because I know what's going on. But maybe I do want something out of the light show. To say, hey, it's there. Lead a horse to water. But they're just that emotional world. They want to cause pain. They want me to feel the way they felt when they repressed that as a small child. So lock out. Get out of here. Same theme. Same scenario. Just being played out again. So yeah, I don't really know what. Well, yesterday I was like, well, the day's already happened. Just enjoy the ride. And I got to use all my tools. I go back and listen to these one more time, because I really don't know what else to do at this point. Another narc technique is they round up their friends. All my friends think this about you, what I think. it's one of the things they do. And her and I, the way we met was through a friend, mutual friend, and they have no issues going on in that scenario too. Yeah, pretty much everyone. Probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for that soul lesson. So what I'm symbolic of in them is that I'm the agitator to get in there and say, hey, that's where it is. That's the emotional healing that it needs to take place. That's the only thing there is for you to give yourself permission to enjoy your life, to get up into that commander's seat and drive your own car and be master of your realm. Right? But you can't do it if you get triggered emotionally by stuff on the set that you haven't dealt with. Right? Now you're just being irresponsible. That's breaking the law. We're in the age of Aquarius now. These things change. Hey, Jamie Hanskin. Tell Aaron hello, and Sarah, Dave. I'm always in your guys' neighborhood, Sarah, up there in Wedton, Beaumont. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful neighborhood. So that's the, save the children, but you're the child, and you got to save yourself first. And that's how you save the children. That's what they're here for in your script. That's the most responsible thing that you can do, is take care of yourself. Do your inner homework. Stay home, look within, and become that healed person. And that is now that's your life. That's all you have to offer. So, will this talk here trigger them? Probably, because they can still be triggered. So if you can be triggered, that's just proof that there's some inner stuff you need to do, because we know that we're projecting our reality. So what you want to see out there, it's coming from there, your emotional sea, the super consciousness. Yeah, interesting. I was thinking like my friendships in my life, and but Jamie and Aaron Hanskin, for me, we were in Snyder Park, and he was fast, really fast. But I had to be just that little bit faster, I had to be a little bit better. But so he was like, but that's why we enjoyed interacting, because we were close in our skill sets. We were just racing and sports and stuff. But it's kind of it's a magical thing. You go through these lives, but it's ultimately to help each other and grow, push, test. So, am I doing something that's making these guys miserable? Symbolically, I'm just representing that their trauma. And that's what they're really afraid of, is having to go in there and sit those emotions. They have been walled off by the ego mind. That's what it does. Mind, shut those emotions down. And then the ego cover it up and tell a good story about all the bad behavior that I was doing. But, I didn't want to be my entire life doing that. So I started asking within. If you do that, you get the answers there. And that's the only place you do it. No one on the set is going to do that for you. You can watch it because you're interested in it, because that's reminding you of your emotional trauma. But yeah, no, we left the age of training wheels, right? For a while, learn how the games, how everything is played, but there's no other way out from there. So yeah, maybe I am up there in the projector seat now, putting some stuff out on the show, me, so that there's nowhere else to move. It's like pincer move. But yeah, that's that's where it's at. That's where the solution is, to make peace with those emotions and stop projecting those emotions on other people. That's what you're doing. That. I mean, that's what the game of life has been revealed to us. Everything is symbolic, and it's the emotional. That's the real energy organism, and we just manifested this realm out here that reflects that. So yeah, I'm like at the end of my rope with these two. You know, I put it on out here because I need the faces and the fasci. I need help. I mean, so yeah, I was hoping to maybe finish cleaning these windows, but that was representing. That's why she's getting so agitated. You know, though. You know, I think it was I was being loud last night, and I wasn't listening to her. Symbolic of. That's what she's really afraid of. I see her ego is shutting that, walling that off, all that trauma. I'm seeing it come out as we've known each other. You know, just this like tremendous rage over something like on the set. It was like, I was like, what, really? You know? So that's it working itself out, but that's the way a child goes about it. To project it out there and thinks that someone else is out there doing it. So the emotional thing will roll, get triggered. But you know, I've had enough. I mean, I see right through it. You got to go make peace with that. Go put yourself in your mother's shoes, and because you're the same life, and feel that, and you re-experience that emotion. Scary, yeah. It had to be walled off at that age. But it's not that bad. So I've done it. I did, and yeah, I was sobbing, heaving, and yeah, it was like, oh, you throw those demons out. You got to get that core, cast that out of your alpha and omega. It's where it's residing until it's time to do that healing. I mean, she was even open to ayahuasca. That's a way, you know, to reach that super consciousness place and get your ego out of the way. It's always there. It's affecting the way you're projecting right now. It doesn't go away, right? So go up there and meet it and make peace with it. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to make yourself miserable by imagining that all this stuff is out there and it's doing something to you. You're more powerful than that. You, the observer, they didn't notice that. And it's going to survive it. It's just emotions. Spirit, but the energy body, that's what is really going on here. That's what's growing and changing. That's what you carry with you if you happen to need to sleep out, you know, our reality right now. When you're in a dream, you don't know that that's not, you know, it's a dream. It feels real. That's what life is. It feels real. Dreaming. Just keep dreaming. Get a car. Grow your car to interact in these energy frequency realms. You know, the frequency of your physical body is the same frequency as the realm. That's why it interacts. It resonates. So there are things in the physical realm that can resonate and increase the strength in a good way, and things that resonate and block that harmonic resonation, right? And that would be a bad thing in the samadhi realm. You know, a guy mentioned the other day is like, you know, I think a little bit of alcohol every day is way better than, you know, eating cooked food, and like it kind of makes sense, and it's even in the language clue for fermentation. It's for the mental nation. And you know, well, a little bit of alcohol, if that keeps you from, interacting with like cooked food, and we know what that produces: symptoms, illness, disease, right? We know that from samadhi. So pick and choose there, and I knew that every centurion and all these people live to be over 100. Almost all of them are smokers and drinkers. Like, but what's that explanation of that is, I think twofold: is that less food, right? Smoking and drinking, you don't have time to eat, and it's a stress reliever. So we manifest and stress ourselves out, and that is what ages the body. And we're manifesting that we're getting older. Well, that's what everybody else is doing out here. So I guess that's what I'm doing. Not being aware that you're actually that you're making that happen. So yeah, there are things to pay attention to. How in the samadhi we don't need anything from it, but you can experience getting in water because it's all the same frequency ranges. That would be a good thing. Feels good. Take a bath. Swim. Fun. Good. So yeah, should be aware of what is going on there. As your physical body, it's expendable, temporary. How it's what its frequency is as it interacts with the samadhi realm. And guess what? The physical body and all the other gods out there is the same thing. How is that interacting with your physical body? The only reason you can even interact with them is because we're all agreed to function at these specific frequencies. It's physical, dense realm, but it's still all energy. It's a hologram. But at that low, dense frequency, it seems like a rock is just a rock forever. But it's energy, and you're dreaming it up. So we got that realm, physical realm, and then we get a visual. We get like one octave to see, way up on the electromagnetic frequency, and then hearing, in there you get a couple octaves to hear, right? Some species can hear outside of that, or visual, infrared. We can't see it, but bees, they're using the infrared. So yeah. So we get our set of frequencies for our hallucination, and for our ordinary consciousness, go take an ayahuasca trip, and then your Nagwal is shifted, and you're now aware of other frequencies around it. And then you see, oh, my body is the earth. Like, that's, you see that when you take the ayahuasca. It's the same thing, same living organism, because you can observe it. It has to be at the same frequency to interact. But you can just go ahead and cover that there are other spiritual realms and ghosts and beings, and of course consciousness, many layers. I was just the other morning, I heard like a movement in the other room, and but I've heard it before. It's a ghost. That looking at themselves on whatever operating table, and they're out for a minute, but then they come back in to actually they execute their physical body. That's what the executor is. Upside down world, execute means you're dead, but no, it means you're executing. You're actually giving life to your organism, your physical body. You're the executor. In the legal terms, that's what is the terminology, of the estate, executor or the executrix. That's your spirit and the energy body. You're the living being. You're not any of this other stuff, out there, a piece of paper and all that. So it's just a good thing to remind yourself, as you go about how you interact now with the other life, the 33 Christ frequency. It's that your Trinity recognizes that all the other life out there is a Trinity, and it should be raveled tightly as a fascist, a facade. It's many strands, but when they're woven tightly together, they're very strong. And those are the symbols on the side. See the president up there, they got fasces on each side. That's what that's symbolic of. But if you're down here watching the shadows, you can become afraid, and like and as a knot, afraid knot is a knot that has become unraveled, and from there, that's when you are causing problems on the set, right? Because your maker is unafraid from your energy body and your physical body. Who knows? The state owns it. If you don't know what's going on, you're just down here reacting to the lights. Yeah, you be stressful and be afraid of that. So those are. So see where those are. Tie them up together. Seal that up. Seal that chest. Mark that you need. Only have fear and love. They're in that same frequency range, yin and yang. So you can't have one without the other. You have a little bit of both, right? So what we all basically have. We're afraid, what we love style. So we're playing an energy game. But the goal of being afraid down here and growing and take our energy bodies through this realm is to tighten that up, and now everything becomes a little bit more pleasurable as you experience, as you're just watching the light show. So we're up front in the front row, right? You need to sit right in front of me. Listen to me. Watch that show. Be afraid. Have fun. Play with it, but I won't be up there the whole time. So now you're going to be in the quarterback. You're in the center, the 360, and wherever all that is going on, and you can enjoy the show from the veranda. Right? I mean, how many thousands of times have I, Pizzagate, what that is, right? Let's do it again. Pia is that thin layer over your mind. That's your dome. That's your corpus callosum. That's the area in between your two hemispheres. And if you have a ZZ electric light show inside of that, then that's what pizza is. Pia with the two Z's in it. And if you get the two Z's outside of the Pia, it is in the Latin piazza, a plaza, a pleasure, placer. And that's the goal, to enjoy the light dome, right? That's what it's ZZ top. It's on top. It's outside. The electric light show is outside of your dome. As a child, we think it's inside there. Ah. And that's why we can scare ourselves, and we're addicted to that dopamine hit, because we do like to be scared. Makes things, ah. But that's the only place that can occur, is that illusion that the light show is inside of your head. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go find my classic rock songs with my new ears, and so yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm suffering right now. So I'm watching the light show, and them like, hey, why don't you just do this? But then I don't have to be the problem. I'm not the source of that. I've explained it. I've gone Facebook Live 30-something times now, talking about this stuff. It's out there. Any problems in my life, manifesting. You're the only one that can scare yourself, and you're the only one that can cause problems for yourself. Everyone else out there is just like that parent that you reacted to as a child. They're just trying to do their life, go about their life. They didn't mean to do it. They didn't know what they were doing, but you responded to it. It's that, it's not diminish it, but that child feels that. Because, I was thinking too, we all know cases like this kid had everything, but on the set, wealthy family, love you, love them. And someone else could have the most seemingly worst life on the set. I've seen that, But guess what? The one that has it all, they felt that emotion. And the one that had seemingly nothing on set, they were, more tied up, right? And they were actually happier. So it has nothing to do with what's on the set, other than that's a symbol of it. But no, it's that perceptual reality. Right? This kid, he's a spoiled kid, right? That's what that is. But the emotion doesn't matter. That pain you feel is always a 10. You know, mine wasn't so bad. You know, if you look at it objectively, not that bad. But it doesn't matter. I felt it. And, you know, but I healed it out. I got in there and sat with it from the on high, and the on high just knows. It's like, good. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's indestructible. Well, I don't know. I'll pass this on to those who might bring them some relief. If it helps you guys, it helps me. I don't know, that's all I had to say. You know, I tried. So this is my creative outlet, explaining this stuff, how it works, perceptually, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So to build the new world order, it's always going on every moment. So this is the corner stone, and you know, I said, take it easy on yourself. It's the first week into the new age, you know, 1 week old, man. This is 1 AD of this, all this. And we're hearing this. It's coming through pretty good, you know, high fidelity, the right copy. That was the copyright, you know, Battelle, Xerox, that was put into the water for me. It's like, oh, you can make a copy machine. I remember being fascinated by that, like, and that technology was rolled out in the water, on the ice, so that I would get used to that concept. And that's what we're doing, to create heaven on earth. We want a high fidelity reproduction from on high in here. This is what this is all about. This is the God game. But we need, at least I did, so that's what I'm doing. So my answers are coming out of my mouth, so we'll wear it out. So I'll take my own advice and get the right copy to go about your behaviors and your actions down here. Because I didn't have the right copy, right? I was out there causing problems on the set because of my emotional baggage that I was unaware of. So this message for me, my lesson is to be aware of that, and then that's your launching pad to shift things up in the projector. And so you're not just responding to stimuli on the set. You know that it's all a recreation from the emotional body. Then you can gain that insight, understanding, overstanding of what you're actually observing and manifesting as God's down here. And we're all doing it together, and we're all here to help each other with that. It's the greatest pleasure is in helping yourself in the other life here. So that's not breaking the law. You're helping yourself. Okay. So I don't know what this day will bring. I have to go back into the ice and see what these symbols are. Well, this one triggered. Locked out. Get out of the house. Locked down. For what? Why you do that to yourself? Don't you want to be happy? Do you know that you actually are the only one that can give yourself permission to be happy and enjoy life? Did you know that? Did you know that the best thing you can do for your child that you're so worried about is to do your own healing? For them, in you? Did you know that? There's nothing else to do. Out there, watching it on the show, get triggered. You need to figure it out. And do your work. I want you to do your homework. Stay home and look within and go in there and sit with it. No one is doing anything to you. No one damaged you. It was your perception. The way you felt. There's nothing good or bad about that. It's just the way it is. But, yeah. Better here or better here. There's no other exit out of the cave. That's how you get out of the cave. Otherwise, I'm going to keep melting that ice, and it's just going to get that much more chaotic. It'll scare you up out of the cave. And that is what's going on, right? I'm symbolic of that motion. Of it's in the ice already. So let's get up on out of the cave, and you don't have to manifest a miserable existence that you're not in control of what someone else is doing. Whatever they're doing, if you're responding to it emotionally, it's because that's symbolic of your superconsciousness that wants to express it and wants to get that out. That's what's going on when my sister and my girlfriend are same thing. Get out of my house. Where's the key? That's what that is symbolic of. So when we understand that our perceptual realm is an emotional, symbolic experience for the emotions to grow. It's the energy body. You got the physical body on the outside to interact that level with the material world. The spirit forever there, watching, observer. But we're molding the energetic body. That's what changes. The emotions, energy in motion, emotion. And we just got through the first quarter, and now here we're coming up, starting the second quarter. So got a ways to go in the game. I'm just going to get more creative. What else could I ever possibly do? But try to be, that's what compassion is. To be creative enough to wake someone up. That you're in a lucid dream. And that you're responsible for it. So why not, flip out the reel. We watched that one for a long time. I was like, I never knew what I wanted to be. And I said, well, what have I seen on the set? And it was James Bond movies. I want to be James Bond. And just the little experience I had was, if the big project and there's a lot of moving pieces, and you go work on all the little ones, and then they all come together. It's just, for me, that was like the magic of it in the physical realm. And but turns out, this is James Bond. What life is that? I am James Bond, because there's a lot of moving pieces out here. I'm gonna go work, shine them up a little bit, clean them, and see them come together. That pattern was, initially revealed to me in high school. I was causing drama with different girls. Little things would happen, like just unbelievable coincidences. Like a note got dropped, and next thing I know, I'm in the cafeteria, and I'm watching those two girls yelling at each other. And that inner part of me, the energetic part, I felt it come out. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. See these girls fighting over me. I just like, did. But that's what I was interested in, because of my mother issues. But that's not what in a little bit, my sister in this one, like, hey, maybe I am interested in that. See them interact. Is that a bad thing? Good thing? I don't know. But they're part of my subconscious. We could all just be happy, but we have to manifest, do it ourselves. No, you can try to tell me I'm a horrible person that's doing all this stuff to you, or not doing anything for you. You can do that. I'll take it. But it's not in my court, because I know what it is now. You're not going to get that emotional reaction out of me. That's what they're seeking. It's what narcissists want, to see that emotion that they repress. They want to see that expressed out there. But that means you're breaking the law. You're being an asshole. Saying someone's this or that. We know that it's not the way it works. Nobody's doing anything to anyone, much less a warrior. So this is warrior time. So yeah, I'm at a loss. I am absolutely at a loss. Except take my own advice. Don't be attached to the outcome in samadhi. Just sit back and observe it. So I'm going to take my own advice best I can. That's what it is, coming out my mouth. I don't need any from anyone, right? I got to stop caring about how many people are watching this video. And we already know it's for a select few that are actually want the truth, right? You can't handle the truth. Oh yeah. So I'm fishing. Moses, fishing, fisher of men. Uh, so, all right, I guess I will quit yapping here. Get back to experiencing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give you an update later in the day. You know, it's gonna be epic. Yeah, I can feel that right now. Get used to the water. Like we've grown accustomed to just thinking that the perceptual reality is all there is, and we're watching the lights on the show. But the heart, allow that in. You already know what's going to happen before it happens. Got a gut instinct. My gut told me that's what that is. So I'm be listening to that one today for sure. That's my test. Locked out house. So I cleaned all the windows, right? That was symbolic of the lights coming in the new age. But that's her trigger. She's, oh, better here. Better here. All right. Talk to you later today. I'll let you know what's going on. Pretty interesting. I said maybe someday someone will go and just take all the highlights of these, put them in some sort of documentary. You know? Like, this is where you go crazy. This is where you get called schizophrenic because you get remolded. And I was like, do I do that? It's like, no, it's too. You just do the act. Someone else can come clean up. You're the leader. Remember the number, your birth day, add up your days that you were born, and that's your personality role. But mine was number 1, the leader. So, cool. All right. I'll get into your ice. Get into my ice seat in the bubble in the center at the 360. We'll see what the light show. See what it yields. Okay, very much love. So we talk again.